Now for the good news. Sorry about that. The JP8 report. I had other things on my mind. Episode 281. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a busy day. I survived the trip to Austin at midnight. Got home like at 2:05. So if I look a little bit tired, you can blame Rachel. All right? And I'm pretty sure she might be watching the podcast as we speak. Uh, but welcome to the JP8 report, episode 281. The White House, Trump is giving a White House speech tonight at the diplomatic reception room. All right. So it's going to be at 9 o'clock Eastern. All right. So before we get started, a couple of, we'll go through the welcome part first. So welcome, and then don't forget to click that follow button. Then after the follow button, please click that thumbs up or the like. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and then don't forget to share. Right? And I do live through X and Facebook and YouTube. I gotta be nice to YouTube because they're allowing me to live stream from Rumble through them, which is great. So some breaking news that came about since I was coming on air. The president is on his way to Dover, Delaware, for the dignified transfer of those two NCOs that were killed in Syria last week. And then the Senate and I didn't get the vote count. That's what I was meaning to do, and stuff was going crazy around here. The Senate approved the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, a $901 billion defense bill, and it's sent to President Trump for his signature. And I'm pretty sure he's going to make that an Oval Office signature so everybody can see it. Matter of fact, that should be incentive for Maduro to leave Venezuela, because even if there's a government shutdown at the end of January, the Defense Department is fully funded. Okay, or the War Department. I'm sorry. And then I was talking about my other podcast. So what I'm going to do with the JP8 report is we're doing JP8 today, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, and then I am doing the JP8 report on Monday, so I can cover anything that happened over the weekend in the Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm going to just do the America 250 events for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? Unless there's a major breaking news on Tuesday, all I probably will do would just be those America 250 events that transpired all the way into through Saturday. And then next week, and then let's see, that takes us to Tuesday all the way through past Christmas. And then I might do one or two the following week, maybe two. One to cover up the weekend and any stuff that happened while I wasn't on air. And then Tuesday, do the same thing with like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Friday and Saturday for America 250. Okay? We'll see. We'll play by ear. All right? But one thing I won't stop on, it's a daily podcast, is my Now for the Good News. So if you I don't have a graph for it here, but if you look on Rumble for Now for the Good News, it that's what it is. It's now NOW ... for the good news. And what I do with that is I do a chapter a day through the Bible. And right now, like today I did, today is the 17th. was Job chapter 27. So on January 2nd, I begin Psalms, and that's going to be 5 months because one chapter a day. It's 150 chapters in the book of Psalms. So that's what I'm going to be doing, but I don't stop for nothing on the Bible reading, okay? So if you, I might put a link in the comments section, but that's something I've been doing for 2 years now. I went through the whole New Testament, and then I've been walking my way through the Old Testament, and I'm about done with Job, going into Psalms. All right. We'll put this right here. All right. So we did the welcome, the follow, the like, and the share. Now for America 250 moment. An America 250 moment is today a letter from Colonel Henry Knox to General George Washington. Okay. May it please your excellency, I return from Ticonderoga to this place on the 15th instant and brought with me the cannon and etc. It having taken nearly the time I conjectured it would to transport them here. It is not easy to conceive the difficulties we have had in getting them over the lake, owing to the advanced season of the year, which is winter, right? And contrary winds. 3 days ago, it was very uncertain whether we could have gotten them over until next spring. But now, please God, they shall go. I have made 42 exceedingly strong sleds and have provided 80 yoke of oxen to drag them to as far as Springfield, where I shall get fresh cattle to carry them to camp. The route will be from here to Kinderhook, and from thence to Great Barrington, Massachusetts Bay, and down to Springfield. There will scarcely be any possibility of conveying them from here to Albany or Kinderhook, but on sleds. The roads are being very much gullied. At present, the sledding is tolerable to Saratoga, about 26 miles. Beyond that, there is none. I have sent for the sleds and the teams to come up and to expect to begin to move them to Saratoga on Wednesday or Thursday next, trusting that between this and that period we shall have a fine fall of snow, which will enable us to proceed further and make the carriage easy. If that should be the case, I hope in 16 or 17 days to be able to present to your excellency a noble train of artillery, the inventory of which I enclosed. I have been particular with respect to their dimensions, that no mistake may be in making their carriages, as there are none here or implements of any kind. I also send a list of those stores which I desired Colonel McDougall to send from New York. I did not then know that any 13-inch mortars, which was the reason of my ordering but few shells of that size. But I now write to him for 500 1-inch, 200 5 7/8 inches, and 400 of 4.5 inches. If these sizes could be had, there is, I believe, they can. I should imagine it would save time and expense rather than have them cast. If you should think otherwise, or have made provision for elsewhere, you will please to countermand this order. There is no other news here from Colonel Arnold than that from Colonel McLean's having burnt the houses around Quebec. Colonel Arnold, which obliged to go Point au Tremble, about 6 miles from the city, that General Montgomery had gone to join him, with a considerable body of men and a good train of artillery, mortars, and etc. There will be some timid and some malevolent spirits who make this matter much worse. From the different accounts which I have been able to collect, I have had very little doubt that General Montgomery has Quebec now in his possession. I am the most humble respect, Your Excellency, most honorable, humble servant, Colonel Henry Knox. That was a good intelligence briefing for him. That's a good officer. That's why they got Fort Knox named after him. All right. So that was America 250, which was really cool. All right. So next is the Dalmatian guys. They make homemade, fresh hot dogs and smash burgers right here in Copper's Cove. All their ingredients are homemade, including their buns. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 2, and then 5:30 to 7, unless they sell out. They're on the west side of Copper's Cove, Texas, behind Bush's Chicken in the shopping center, right? I talk about it all the time. I like the armadillo burger. I had one yesterday, all right? So, if you're in Killeen, Belton, or Temple, or Lampasas, or Gatesville, or even Austin, and you want a good smash burger, come check these guys out in the west side of Copper's Cove. All right? All right, so what I got up here on my slides. All right, the president. The president is going to address the nation tonight from the diplomatic reception room. All right. Diplomatic reception room, 9 p.m. He's going to talk about accomplishments and economics and maybe some stuff for he wants to do in the future, right? So he put this out on Truth last night. My fellow Americans, I will be giving an address to the nation tomorrow night, live from the White House at 9 p.m. Eastern. I look forward to seeing you then. It has been a great year for our country, and the best is yet to come. President Donald J. Trump. All right. Give me a second here. All right. So I got this from Fox News this morning. President Donald Trump will highlight his administration's accomplishments over his first year back in office in his address from the White House on Wednesday night. The White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt gave a preview of his speech during a Tuesday press briefing, telling reporters that Trump will seek to highlight his wins over the past 11 months, like the defense bill. Right? As you all saw on Truth Social, President Trump is going to be giving an address to the nation tomorrow night, live from the White House at 9 Eastern. I know you guys will be tuning in. I was just in the Oval Office with the president discussing it. He's going to talk a lot about the accomplishments over the past 11 months, all that he's done to bring our country back to the greatness, and all he continues to plan to do, to continue delivering to the American people over the next 3 years. She continued. Leavitt later added in an appearance on Fox News America Reports, which is on right now, that Trump may also tease some policy that will be coming in the next year as well. Trump first announced the speech publicly at Truth Social, which we just read. My fellow Americans, I'll be giving an address. We just read that. And that is all. So I'll be just getting out of church when that comes on. I will see it. Reason for the speech tonight is that everyone's going to be but on video on demand, I expect those numbers probably to drop off a little bit because people are going to, detox on everything social over the next few weeks. So I'm still doing my stuff, but he wants to get the news out to the American people before they all got busy with Christmas and New Year's, right? So to defeat the rhetoric of the people that use it against him, because